Sega. Dudes. Pokemon. Dudes. What's going on, saying? The world is ending. Yep. Dogs and cats living happily together and all that stuff like in Ghostbusters. Pokemon LeafGreen and FireRed are coming to the Switch.
This is probably what broke the internet today. This definitely broke the internet today because there was just massive news about this. I mean, everybody was going on about this massive news, but it's
crazy.
I say just roll the video and we'll talk after the video.
Dirty. On the Switch. All right, so we'll stop it there. Available. Was that next Friday or Saturday? What is?
I think it's like next week.
That's crazy. That is just. It's amazing to see that something that should have been so obvious to everyone is finally going to be available for people to play on the Switch. And so I guess it's not going to be on the Switch online. It's just it's going to be a purchase, something you can purchase.
It's going to be $10 each for each game, but it's $20, which is a lot better because now with the old game, huh?
You said $10 each, but $20.
Well, they're $10 each, 10 and 10, so $20 for the two of them.
No, they're $20 each.
Oh, they're $20 each.
Yep.
Well, that's still better than paying $120.
I was about to say, but let's head over to price charting, and so $20, or you got $140 for loose.
That's just stupid. These games were never,
and they're still trending up. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the coming months. What happens with this loose price of $137? How I think it's going to drop off a cliff. I think it's going to.
You really think so?
I do, because it's like, wait, I can take it on the go. I don't have to pay these absurd prices. Because for $40, you get both games. You can save $100. Believe it or not.
Oh, and you could also trade from Switch to Switch or networked or whatever. This is what you're gonna see now is Nintendo is fighting back and saying, "Hey, listen, we're done." Yeah, right there.
This digital exclusive contains 3 islands where even more Pokemon await. You can also visit the Pokemon Wireless Club to trade, battle, and chat with other players via local wireless. Oh, that's local wireless. That's not. Where's the two? Using games is required for multiplayer mode. So you're going to have to be local to one another. It's not
right,
online.
But here's the thing. People are going to be like, okay, that's still better than taking your Game Boy Advance.
Oh yeah.
And
Just think about this. The next gaming convention you go to, I bet you there will people will take their Switches and have their games loaded up, and they'll be sequestered over in an area just playing and trading. It's like, hey, I'm looking for such and such Pokemon. Does everyone? I've got this, and this to trade. I could totally see that happening. Get on the Wi-Fi for the convention and sit there and trade.
well, you could even
Amongst
have
people.
switch to switch communication. You don't even
Oh
need the
yeah.
wireless.
So, I think there's a ton of possibility. I mean, I'm looking forward. We showed the FireRed, but
Now here's some
green.
things that are here's some things that people are going on about.
It's the same thing,
They're
and
they're
same with prices.
they're complaining, oh, I could emulate this. I could emulate this on the go. I can emulate this on my analog duo, or I have an EverDrive card and I'll just pop this in and play it on an EverDrive card and whatever it is. You cannot trade with people on an EverDrive card. You cannot trade with people on your analog duo. You cannot trade with people on your Game Boy Advance unless you have the certain another Game Boy Advance user. This is all forms of the Switch. So $20 for this. Is this like a cash grab from Nintendo? Yes, but in the same sense, Nintendo is smart and they're like, well, look at the prices of these games. They're $120, $130 for these two. Why let's throw them out for $20 each and give them first of all, they're cleaned up, they're better graphics from what I was reading, and they're like the sound is better, everything is better on it, period. And it's cleaner, and you're able to trade with people local or whatever. This is going to be gigantic in Japan.
Oh, well, I think it's going to be huge anywhere where Pokemon fans exist in large numbers, and I don't know if there's an area that does not exist.
Because you're going to go, I mean,
I
like,
think
even
these are going to be best-selling games. They'll break into the top 10, quite possibly. And like, I really hope that there's no game coming out in the next week or two that anyone's really looking forward to that are Pokemon fans, because they're like, ooh, do I pick up this new game or do I pay $20 and get FireRed or LeafGreen and play it on my Switch? I mean, to me, it's just like crazy that it took them this long to do it.
I honestly speaking, like when you go to conventions, like I've been to a Pokemon convention before for cards. When you go to a Pokemon convention, this is going to be immense because you're going to have people trading all over the place for that. Like this is going to break the two, like the sales of the games where people are going to not want them because a lot of people have Switches. A lot of people have this, like, even if you don't like have a Switch and you just have a stupid Switch Lite that you just whatever goof around on, like this is very much affordable to play and trade with a lot of people. And it's I mean, would you here, we'll do it this way. Would you I mean like would you rather play on this, which is the analog duo, and a screen like this?
That's the Analog Pocket.
Oh, the analog pocket. Right, the duo is what I want. This is the analog pocket. Would you rather play on this? Or
On this.
would you rather play on this? Truthfully, it's a no brain.
Well, the Switch is going to have a bigger screen, but like to me, like I'm not planning on picking either one of them up. I'm gonna, I don't play the original Pokemon games, the RPG games, so like to me, this is nothing but great for collectors and gamers. And I say for collectors because anyone who is somewhat interested in picking up a Pokemon game can now get one of these for an affordable price, which is great. And it's going to be a smack in the face to resellers who've been jacking up prices for at least these two games for these
For a
games that are not
while.
even uncommon. because they printed these by the millions and millions.
They're not. It's so true. Like you get people, these damn resellers that are gonna like resell stuff, and these are very common games. Everybody had them, tons,
Not
because you're
not
selling.
everybody, but they're very readily available. Because even at conventions, almost every vendor who has video
has
games will have
has a
at least a Pokemon game, and then there's vendors that have, you know, they'll have loose carts and they'll have them like, oh, we've got 3 or 4 of the same game, just and here's 2 of the other one, and here's 1 of the other one, and so I think the market is gonna hopefully do a self correction for more realistic pricing, and so those that want to collect it to have the games will be able to get the games more affordable, and those who just want to play the game will be able to get it what I would consider is actually quite affordable for compared to what it would cost to get an actual cartridge. And then
You're not gonna get it though, right?
no,
No,
I have
I'm
no
not.
plans to. Um, I think I've maybe spent 5 minutes in one of the games. We'll say yellow or gold.
Jeez.
It's nothing that it never interested me. Pokemon was, I guess, after my time for that, and out of the two, I fell into watching Digimon, and so Pokemon was just this thing, and like I got into it a little bit when the Munchkin started playing the Pokemon card game when she was younger. I
Oh, okay.
learned so that I could play the game with her, and we got her cards for her birthday and other things. But yeah, I think it's really cool. I think Nintendo needs to do it with all of the Game Boy, sorry, all of the Pokemon games that they can. They need to put it on the Switch, and it would be nice if there was an option. If you buy Fire Red, you can get Green for $10. You can get both games for
Uh,
$30.
the
That would be
trading, like
wonderful.
the trading alone is massive, because that is the one thing that is the huge problem is the trading. And I have a feeling that, they're gonna do something where it's like, hey, in dock mode, like you can now play your favorite 3DS games in dock mode, and they're gonna have to try to figure something out with on the go with 3DS. But if they bring out, like, let's say, more of the Game Boy Advance or the DS Pokemon games, it's gonna destroy the
The
like
market. Well,
the market is gonna burn.
I think this is enough to like shake the overall Pokemon video game market because
Which is insane.
Pokemon Coliseum on the GameCube. I don't remember. I haven't paid attention because I don't have a Switch 2. But if it's not out already, it'll be out before the end of the year.
It
And
is
now you've
out.
got 2 more Pokemon games coming to the Switch. So,
Can
okay,
you
what's
wanna
going to
bring
stop
up the
them from doing all
price?
the others? I'm hoping that it'll cause people like, okay, we need to drop the price of these and sell them now before Nintendo drops them, and the prices drop by they get cut in half or a third or 2/3. That's why it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I want to see what the sales do just like in the next week, because as of this gets out, like I said, I think it once Friday hits and the games are available and people are buying them, that
You know
it's just gonna the prices are they're not gonna go to nothing, but I'm hoping it'll cut the prices in at half at least.
it's crazy that this is happening, because, like, in one of our early videos, we talked about the Castlevania 40th anniversary and Konami getting off the pot finally and actually doing something without holding, limited run's hand, which is beautiful. And now Nintendo brings this out and says, "Yo, Fire Red, Leaf Green, hey, what's up?" I really do have a very strong feeling that Emerald is on its way, and this is just a test to see, because why the hell would you release Fire Red and Leaf Green and not Emerald? And if they release Emerald, did you see the price of Emerald?
No,
Emerald is a $300 game alone. So, like, everybody, the resellers are just riding the wave of the Pokemon craze. with the cards with everything like this because of TCG. So this is going to be like we're done.
So
Yeah,
this is going to be, as it says on the screen, super effective.
I like the way you did that. Very smart.
But yeah,
Uh,
it's. I mean, I hope that's what happens. We
I
could
hope
be
this is
wrong, and it could have absolutely no effect because collectors are going to want their physical copies anyways, and oftentimes collectors may not be too worried about actually playing the game. But for the mom and pops that are picking it up for, well, I guess they're not really picking up for kids very much anymore because the kids that grew up with it are adults now.
yes.
So, but like they'll be, oh, you know what? This is even better because I can take it on the go, and like I said, like we're talking about, going to a convention. Like I would not be surprised where it's like, all right, we have a little area over here for people that want to battle
So
Pokemon and trade Pokemon. And
the
I'm not really sure. I would say that this is testing the waters. This is here. We're starting with these, and like it would be ridiculous for more of them not to come, especially when they're like, oh yeah, we made $100 million or whatever in 2 days from pre-orders, or once this hits. Like I think it's going to do gangbusters. Like I said, I'd really be
now
surprised if
let
it's
me
not the
ask you,
best-selling games.
when you went to Southern Fried Gaming, because when I went to the Retro Gaming Expo, there was a table full of people with their advances, and it was hooked up to a trade link, and people were battling and trading Pokemon through on their Game Boy Advances. So
Never
now
seen anything like that,
you've never seen anything like that.
but
So
I also was never looking for it.
okay, so it was there when I went to Retro World. And it was there when I went to Long Island Retro. So, and Long Island Retro, it's been there already twice. So, honestly, if stores are smart, they would hold trading events and gaming events for this, where say, hey, come into the store, and we're gonna have nights where you guys can bring your switches in, play, trade, and all that other stuff, and then hopefully get sales that'll come in as well. This is a
Sales of
huge
what?
thing. I so if I owned a retro store and I wanted to capitalize on this, I would say Friday night pizza's free,
But
soda.
yes, I understand all
Yeah,
of that. But what are they going to come in and buy?
they're gonna so people are gonna come in, they're gonna trade whatever it is, and I would have all Pokemon cards completely stocked up, because the people that are gonna be buying and trading, the people that are gonna be trading and doing all of this, those are probably gonna be TCG people as well. They're gonna want cards, and you could capitalize on the cards,
Maybe,
and
maybe
you're
not.
also gonna
But I
have
mean,
you're gonna
it's a good way to get people in the store. I just don't know if it would translate to sales. It could, but I don't know.
this is
It's an
definitely gonna
interesting
be a
idea.
swift kick in the rear to the resellers, because this was floating their boats.
Well, it's not just this game. There's so many other games that people will pay absurd prices for.
I just
And
think, I think at this point right now, if they released Emerald, the 3DS games are gonna tank out.
so, white it out. Is that what they called it when you got knocked out in the
Yeah, white it
games?
out. Yeah, you get like knocked out, white it out, all that.
Yeah, see, I know so little about the games. I was like, white it out. That's got to be like knocked out.
You
Yeah, I
use
think
white out.
I really hope that Nintendo and was it Game Freak or whatever, the Pokemon company, get together and like, all right, let's just drop the next, let's get the next two out in 3 months, 6 months, whatever, and get them all out by the end of the year or over the next 2 years, and let's calm things down in the aftermarket. And you know what? Now thinking about it, it's like, okay, it could be a test. It could be a test to say, what is this going to do to the secondhand market for these games?
They were so here's something we can look at. Golden Sun. Golden Sun came out on the Game Boy Advance. If you see a drop in prices of Golden Sun, then you know it was because of Game Boy Advance on the Switch. Because I play Golden Sun to no end on the Switch.
But I think
Is Golden
Golden
Sun
Sun
is
is
as
like,
popular as
yeah,
no
nowhere
way.
near as popular.
No way is Golden Sun that
So
popular.
this could have a much bigger ripple effect, I think.
Let's see.
But so I'm looking at. Well, here I'll do golden. Look at this Golden Sun.
Oh,
The high was at $43, $45, and then it's dropped to $13. That's not huge in my book.
it's not that big now. Maybe Golden Sun
And I don't know
2.
when it released, but I think there's a much bigger chance for prices to drop heavily with Pokemon
I
with
agree.
this, and it could affect. Like I said, I hope it has a ripple effect, and resellers and stuff are going to try to drop them. Just like, all right, we got to get them out before we get undercut by Nintendo. So let's start knocking down prices. $10 off, $20 off, $30 off, half off. Get it going.
I just find it crazy. Like I mean, there's no reason why Emerald is not going to come up, but Emerald is the most expensive. And if Emerald comes up, I wonder you're always going to have your purists. They're going to want to play it on a Game Boy Advance, and
Yep.
they need to, But like the other guy was saying, it's you don't if you emulate it, I get it, whatever, but you're emulating it on an Ambernac or something, so great, but you can't trade, you can't do anything with it. You don't have any cleaned up versions of it. And like you don't like you really can't trade with you honestly cannot trade with people.
The
So
thing is, the people that are emulating it, this probably doesn't apply to regardless.
well, yeah, I mean I agree.
Unless they want to start over and be able to do the trading. But
I think this is huge.
I think it's great. I think I agree. It could be huge. I want it to be huge because I want it to be like, hey, y'all need to calm down with these crazy prices for some of these games. Not worth
it. They've been released all over the place. There was so like you would go into stores. I remember KB Toys, and there would just be stacks of these stupid things, and people would just buy it. Like kids were getting them, Oh, I got Pokemon. I got Pokemon. I remember 3 years ago walking into a retro store, and the guy brought in boxed LeafGreen, boxed FireRed, and boxed Emerald, and walked out with like $3,000 in his pocket, and or like 2,500, and it was like 2022, and it was he just walked out like, "Yep, I look at me," and
yep.
because
and it'll probably cut into the fakes that are being made because they're selling the fakes for like $20 or $30. Like, well, now I can just get it this way, and I got it on the go. But I think, yeah, it's a good thing. It's a great thing, even though I'm not going to buy it.
What's really crazy too, and what I think of this is there's a lot of young kids that are into TCG, and they kind of like the Pokemon games. So I think this would be a nice way, and they have Switches. So I mean, what kid doesn't have a Switch? So I mean, like or a form of like Switch. So what this would be a kind of interesting way to get them into like, hey, playing like the older type of game.
Maybe not. Time will tell. We'll see. I guess.
We'll see.
I guess until then, keep it Pokemon. Gotta catch them all.
Don't buy your resellers.
Yeah. For heaven's sake, stop paying absurd prices for games.
Support the people that made the games.